Oh, so typical me. It's so ironic when the medicine is toxic. He broke into my head, so I tossed the key and locked it. Empty pages, unexplained dazes, oh so typical me. Enemy faces look the safest, oh so typical me. Oh so typical me. My dark mind undermines every time we build. Oh, every time. Trying to survive in the older world we killed. Oh, the God keeps looking at me, staring from the mirror. Janice, can't you cure me of my indecision fever? Empty pages, unexplained dazes, oh so typical me. Enemy faces look the safest, oh so typical me. Oh so typical me. Antagonist, protagonist, become the one and the same. So how do I survive when the war is on my brain? So you listen here, you better shut me down, you better lock me up, or he'll be wearing my crown. I don't wanna fall, no, I don't wanna fall. Pages are empty, so empty from breakage. Please help me and I'll go where I feel the safest.
Oh, this little guy up. Hang on. Hello. Hey, everybody. How we all doing today? How's it going? How's it going? Hi. Hello. Making sure my mic is working. It is. Yay. Yippee. Hello. Hi. Hello. Hi. Hello. Hi. 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 Sorry, I am quite sleepy today. Give me a moment. Okay. Sorry, let me just pop my bones. Now, as the title says, it is PowerPoint Day. It's PowerPoint Day, guys. It is the day where I bring out the PowerPoint. The PowerPoint about the white man, whom I hate, the character white boy I abhor with my whole heart. Among other things, I have prepared a Crash Out background. Oh, hang And we also have Nubian to make sure I'm not dead asleep while I... Because, hey Noob, I'm so tired. My brain has had a case of the eepies today. Now, as I mentioned... Anyway, so... I prepared a Crash Out little guy. I have prepared an entire little guy for this exact stream. He even has a little background. It's the little guy. Oh wait, unmute in Discord, hang on. This fucking little guy. This little guy who embodies my wrath. My wrath. Guys, it's my wrath. My pure, unfiltered wrath about why I hate K. Kyle. I've had this little guy on standby ever since I started making the PowerPoint. And now I can talk about it. And now you guys can... You can also bring... in PNG Tuber Roulette, you can select the furious little fucker. Also, as you can see, I have Krita up. It's because I don't have, a PowerPoint presentation program, so I have just downloaded all of the slides for this. I have downloaded all the slides. Let's see if I can make this any larger. I can slide this somewhat over. Aha, I can. The PowerPoint. The PowerPoint. It's the PowerPoint about why I hate this fucking white boy. There are 15 slides. Nubian, would you like to say anything about this? Yeah, so... okay, 15 slides, yes. I mean, some of them are, you know, beginning and end slides, but you know. Sorry. I'm still, like, getting the sleep out of my eyes. It's just one of these days where... It's like... It would be a great sleeping day. You can't... Oh! I forgot to turn that on! Hello, Nubian Yap Yap.
Yap Yap?
I completely forgot.
Okay, of all the things I checked, I forgot to check if I was audible.
Anyway, Noob is here, so I'm not, alone with my thoughts, which is the worst thing to leave me. Never leave me alone with my thoughts, otherwise, well, we get this kind of shit.
Yeah.
Beware. I will do the craziest things. That is a threat. Anyway, I suppose, with nothing else, I will begin my PowerPoint about why I hate K. Kyle. I hate this white boy. Guys, I hate this fucking white boy so much. Guys, it's time for the rant about why I hate K. Kyle. I have had this prepared for so long, so it's time... So let's start with this. This is the beginning. I haven't done a presentation since fucking high school. I haven't done this kind of thing since high school.
Don't worry, you're doing fine.
Alright, making sure that the next ad isn't for another hour, so we're not interrupted. Yippee. Looks like we're good. Okay. Okay. Let's start with the fact that K. Kyle is a character who is very much known in the beginning of his character for having an unfathomable hunger for power. As far back as when he was a wee 16-year-old who left his village per its local traditions He had an unfathomable hunger for knowledge and power. It is the cause for why he travels. He travels to seek power. No, nothing is too big of a cost for him. He is a terrible person. No cost is too great for him. He finds and studies through likely very scrupulous means. He is somehow able to relight the fucking nether portal, goes to the nether, and, gets the means to travel to the end, something that hasn't been done in a while. His drive should terrify you. His drive should terrify you. Upon the entrance to the end, he takes no time, no hesitation, to immediately start killing the fucking Ender Dragon. I'm talking about why I hate K. Kyle and why you should hate him too. As you can see, I have timestamps. I have sources. Who? It's this guy. That guy from KSMP. That fucker. That rat. So, and right now we are talking about all the reasons why I hate him, and why you should hate him too. As well as, in a way, this is also criticizing the story choices that were made with his character. Because boy howdy, is he just bad, awful, terrible, evil. I hate him. I hate him. And this is like, this first slide, it is something of a list of just the start of his issues. Anything to note, Nubian?
Nothing to note yet.
Chad, if you have any questions, if you would like to try and challenge me, you are welcome to try. You are welcome to try. You're welcome to try. I dare you. But otherwise, let's talk about the next reason why his character sucks, why he's a bastard, why he's evil, and you should hate him. We know that throughout Season 1 and 2, the character of K-Cab makes it quite clear that Kyle was a terrible person throughout her childhood. Selfish, manipulative, malicious. He was as much a bully to her as her own mother, as everyone else in the village. We know from the K-Cab's own words, that Kyle is that K-Clown is a lot like Kyle. That is a terrible thing to note. Let's talk about the fact that that is really bad. If someone is able to see that kind of pattern in a character, that says a lot about the character they're being compared to. The fact that Cab was comparing Clown to Kyle says a lot about how Kyle was when they were growing up. And where is this said? Season 1, Episode 7, where Cab is talking about the clear parallels there are. We also know that the very presence of Kyle at the end of Season 1 is part of the trigger for Cab's eventual isolation. On top of the psychological abuse and isolation from Clown, K-Kyle's very presence it causes a trigger for the character of K-Cab. In it's such a terrible state that she goes to seek comfort, and she is just hurt again by another sibling figure, someone who she saw as a sibling. And It's very unfortunate. It tells you a lot about how much Kyle's bullshit, Kyle's bullshit, hurt Cab growing up. How much this should be a much bigger point about Kyle. How this should be such a big issue about his character. This should have been brought up so much more. Let's see. Kyle's very first appearance is part of why K-Cab ends up in a unfortunate state of unreality and very bad mental illness. And then we see in season 2, in the one time we see Kyle's POV, that he is outright cruel to Cab. He proclaims he will become a legacy. He is so very sure to rub it in her face that he will always be better than her. And this is a 16-year-old to like a 12-year-old. Kyle was like 16 in that scene. Cab was at least, I don't know, 12? She's younger. Like, this is the type of character that Kyle was, and it's never brought up. It is an untouched point. It is a dropped plot point that should have been brought up and kept going, because this could have been a really cool way to change up the character. It could have been an interesting exploration, but of course it's never used. It's never used. Is anyone surprised? Nubian, anything to comment? La la la.
No, not at the moment. It's just interesting watching you go off.
Yeah. I cast Brick of Approval and you not. We love our bricks. Bricks are great. Get bricked. Get bricked, idiot. Look, I've made this PowerPoint. This is like a steady line of all my thoughts. But you know, reading it out, slowly but surely, it is quite easy to get a little bit frazzled. La la la. I wasn't exactly sure what I was gonna do in terms of order for this. I'm just kind of reading it off, explaining, and chat, if you have anything you would like to say in rebuttal, or anything you would like to note, you are welcome to note. I am encouraging some discussion. I would enjoy some discussion. Alright, with that done. But, as like an entire synopsis, this is a point that is throughout season 1 and 2. Kyle is, throughout 1 and 2, a figure of distress for the character of K-Cab. His entire character is built up for 2 seasons, 2 years, to be an absolute monster. One that is comparable to Clown. I would argue that this makes... that this would be... Kyle is probably, or was likely, meant to be what Clown was at the beginning of wherever he came from. Like, if anything, this says a lot about, like, the fact that Kyle is compared to Clown, K-Kyle is compared to K-Clown. It says a lot about the character of K-Kyle. It says a lot. I hate this white boy, and you should too. Let's also talk about the fucking Void! Let's talk about the goddamn Void! The fucking Void! The entire plot of Season 2 that is so underutilized, underdeveloped, underexplained. But let's talk about the fact that everything that happens to do with the Void is Kyle's own fault. Every death that happens because of the Void is Kyle's fault. It is his fault. It is not the Void. Oh boy. Let it be known, Kyle sought out the void. This was his choice. He sought the void out. He sought out the concept of the void. He learned about the void from books, and he sought out the end to learn more about the void. He sought it out on his own. He sought out the end for knowledge in order to gain power. Let it be known, the void had no influence over Kyle until after the heist at the archives. Because we know this because the void has no speaking points or any kind of indication of its presence until after the heist of the library in the end. So, when Kyle in Season 3 says, "I didn't kill the dragon, the void killed the dragon," that's bullshit. It's bullshit. It's such bullshit. It's a lie. He's a liar. The void also, in the words of Kyle, in his own POV, the void offered a co-host situation, where Kyle will have control. The void claims they have the same thoughts and ideas already. The void says Kyle has everything it wants in a host. And this is said at 25 minutes into Kyle's POV video. And whatever happens during that void arc, that's Kyle's fault. Guys, how many people do you think died from that? Guys, hey chat, in Season 3, when we meet Woogie, his mother is died to the void. We don't know how far out that Woogie's people are from the village, but that is a very wide amount of people. That is a wide range, meaning a lot of people likely died to the fucking void. Hey guys, probably millions are dead in the overworld. Hey guys, all those deaths are Kyle's fault. Because Kyle agreed to this. This was a willing co-host parasite situation. So anytime, Kyle is saying, "Oh, it wasn't my fault," fuck that. No, it is his fault. It is his fault. Completely his fault. So many people must have died, but I don't think it's lingered on too much. Nope, not a single thing about how many people 100% died or were just lost to the void. Just gone. Disappeared. Never to be seen again. Woogie's mother is presumed dead. Woogie's mother is presumed dead. Is that not fucked up? That is a character that K-Cab would have known. And she doesn't give two hoots about the fact that her friend's mother is dead. Nothing outside of a few, "I'm so sorry that happened." Kyle takes no blame for the actions that were done during that time. He never takes a single bit of accountability. So, and yes, everything that happens from the void is Kyle's fault. Now, the dragon. The fucking Ender Dragon. Kyle and the goddamn Ender Dragon, guys. Oh boy. Let's start with the fact that Kyle killed the dragon. The Ender Dragon, it's not just some big old dragon, it's not nothing. It is the center of the Ents culture. It is the last physical tie to the Endarian goddess. Its death is an entire dimension's loss. And we don't know how many people are in the end, but that's a lot of people who their culture has just been hurt irrevocably by an outsider. Throughout the third season, Kyle will bring up how he killed the Ender Dragon to get jabs in at K-Concha. We see this in Season 3, Episode 2. And then he also claims to the entire dimension at the end of Season 3, he killed the dragon. However, when someone else brings up Kyle killing the dragon, this fucker turns around and says the void killed the dragon. He diverts the blame. The void was never able to influence Kyle until he was in the end for weeks. There are no signs of whispers, etc., as we see when the Void finally speaks. So, it's lies. It's so many lies. The blood of the dragon is on Kyle's hands, and he refuses to take that accountability. He only does it to make a point. Like, guys, he destroyed the center of an entire species' culture, and there is no remorse for what he did. Like, I killed the dragon, you killed the dragon. Nuh-uh, exactly. Like, he has no remorse for what he did. When Ivo is clearly horrified in Season 2, Episode 19, Kyle simply says, all gods must fall eventually, to someone who has just had, like, the center of their religion, has just been told, the center of your religion is now dead. Fuck you. I did it for fun. Like, is that not the most horrifying concept? And it's just brushed off. There is also the fact that Kyle clearly seeks knowledge, but he will not respect the culture that he is hurting and ruining to get it. This can just be seen in the fact that he breaks into a locked archive against Ivo's protests. The character of Ivo was clearly reluctant, and yet, when Kyle wants to go do something, he just does it. It just happens. He's just, we're gonna go do this. I don't really know if I want to do this. We're doing this. And they break into a goddamn library. A sacred place full of knowledge that is definitely being carefully preserved. As we all know, books are quite fragile as they get older. Paper starts to decay at some point. That stuff has to be preserved carefully, and Kyle takes no care for it. He just yoinks books, runs away with them. All because he wants power, and he's not willing to take time to understand what it took to gain that knowledge. This character is very disrespectful to the people and the cultures that he ruined in order to get what he wants. Anything to note, noob?
Doing great so far.
Yay. Taking access of knowledge from other folk, especially those he's stealing from. Talk and explain. Yay, thank you. Now, let's talk about the character of Ivo and Kyle. Let's talk about the characters of Ivo and Kyle. Like, a very, very large portion of the character of Ivo was just completely centered around Kyle. Ivo was in the overworld looking for Kyle, per the Season 1 cutscene. Ivo traveled the end with Kyle, and Ivo was willing to throw the entire overworld away at the promise to save Kyle. He sells out the secret of the village. He sells out everyone who was in that village at the time. That's Cab, Moo, the Nevarians, the Endarians, the overworld. He sells out the entire overworld for the potential promise to save Kyle from the Void, from this possession situation. However, in Season 3, not once does Kyle mention Ivo. Ivo is only mentioned in Maddie's story because she is the one who killed him. But Kyle never shows any care, mention, notice for the man who went to the ends of the earth to try and save him. And let it be known, Kyle says, it's his own words, he was able to see what the Void was doing, but he claims he was not able to stop it. He would have seen Ivo make a deal with the Void to save him, and you can only conclude Kyle did not care about someone who gave the world to him. Like, what other conclusion can you draw? Anything anyone would like to say before I move on to the next point?
I think I'm good.
Chat, do you have anything you'd like to say? I'll give it a minute, and also I'm gonna go take a drink real quick. Alright, back to the rant. Alright, so Kay Cersei. My dearest girl, my beloved girl, one of my favorite girls of the series. Hey guys, can we talk about how Kay Kyle casually and openly disrespects this girl's culture? Let's talk about how he disrespects someone whose culture was systematically eradicated from the world. Every part of her culture as a witch was hunted down by the gods themselves. Every part of her existence was illegal according to the gods' will. And this white boy looks her in the eye and mocks her culture. In the practice of arcane, essence is the center of an arcane user's abilities. Essence is what allows people to use arcane. It is the only reason that overworlders, or anyone, can use different abilities. Essence gives secondary traits. And when Cab and Kyle come to Cersei to ask for help to get overworld essence for Cab to become a hybrid, the first thing Kyle does is mock it by calling it aura, despite the character of Cersei telling him to stop. She says that calling it aura is an offensive term. She repeatedly says, hey, don't do that, but he doesn't stop. Nothing stops him from running his fucking mouth and telling someone whose entire culture and her people and her practices, like everything about her culture, has been erased. It is not an existent part of the modern day, and he mocks it. He looks her in the eye and mocks it. And at no point does he apologize for doing something to someone's culture. Big ew. And then there is, oh boy, there's so much about Kay Kyle and Concha. Oh buddy, oh boy, oh my lord, oh my lordy loo, okay. So, the moment that Concha is here and suggesting Cab might be a good hybrid, she might be a good candidate, she might be ideal to become a hybrid, Kyle is encouraging Cab to the point where Cab doesn't get a choice. Kyle is on Concha's side until things are wrong. This is something that needs to be said, is that Cab doesn't really have a choice when given the point of being a hybrid. Everyone around her who she looks to for support they don't listen to her fears. The only two people who listen to her fears are Linku, who is against the process of removing Maddie's essence, and Concha, who's actually like, hey, Concha, who says, I trusted my god, they won't let something bad happen to Maddie. Those are the only people who are listening to K-Cab's fears. And when Cab is hesitant, Kyle isn't there supporting her. He is in the corner of, do it, do it, do it, do it. You should become a hybrid. This is cool. You should do the thing. You should do this thing. You should do this thing that you're scared of. Instead of trying to show him developing as a character, Kyle is just further worsening Cab's problems and her fears. He doesn't listen to her. He never listens to her. This is a major point of his character that isn't touched. Kyle never listens to anyone. He just barrels on ahead. And it's just another thing in the many things that he does that was such a, with hindsight, very bad writing decision. Because regardless of Cab's feelings and hesitations, Kyle is on Concha's side until things go wrong. The moment that Maddie loses her memories, that she is no longer Maddie, Kyle 180s and turns on Concha and the concept of hybrids. Instead of taking accountability for his part in the loss of Maddie, in his holding back Linku, Kyle directs all the consequences to Concha. Is that not really, really bad? Is that not quite fucked up? Noob, do you have any input?
I hate this white boy.
I will bring people to my side. I can bring you to my side. Beware, I will bring you to my side about disliking this guy. There is a reason this PowerPoint... There's so many points. Because, among other things, again, Kyle never takes accountability for his actions. He doesn't apologize for his part in things. He doesn't take accountability when he is clearly in the wrong. Now, we're getting to some of the parts that do lean into my opinion. Like how, and this is gonna sound wild, but Kyle has some aspects of the white savior trope when it comes to his finale. Now, what is the white savior trope? The white savior trope is a case where it's a critical description of a white person who is coming to a culture to liberate it from itself. And often, in the crossfire, they are stepping on various cultural aspects, or boundaries, or things that culture respects and holds dear, to liberate them from themselves. Now, Nubian, as the person who's here, why is the white... Would you like to ponder with me why I would add the white savior trope?
The end.
Exactly. Chat, why do you think I would add the white savior trope about this character? It seems so strange, out of place almost, but why would I do this? I will explain. Now, why is the white savior trope here? For the Endarian's finale, Linku, Concha, Artemis. They go to the End to take down the End Council, and Kyle is taken along with them. And in doing so, Kyle has returned to the End to free it from itself. The Endarians being on this task is completely rational. This is Linku and Artemis's home. To Concha, this is his second home, his goddess's world, one of his brother's homes, and he gives it the respect that it deserves. But in taking Kyle to the End to free it, Kyle... His mere presence is him as a foreign, non-native individual, saving people who cannot save themselves without someone to get them out. That becomes not just the Endarians making change, Now it is the very outsider who destroyed a entire dimension's cultural symbols, coming to change the people he hurt in ways he cannot fucking fathom and does not respect. Throughout Season 2, the audience can see Kyle's perspective for the first time. In doing so, they show Kyle going to the end to plunder it for knowledge without understanding or respecting the culture around it, as well killing the Ender Dragon for no other reason than he can, because he wanted to, because it was there, because it was something to trophy hunt. The dragon is an entire dimension's last remnant of their god, the last symbol that was still respected in the modern day, to the point where its death, when it is finally announced, the Endarian people are horrified. To Concha, this was the last living remnant of his goddess snuffed out, a piece of his religion that was torn away without the chance of even giving a burial. It's like there's a group of people who have a strong emotional connection to this place and trying to save it, plus some random guy who destroyed and harmed it. Yep. Exactly. And that is why I think that K. Kyle's finale is pretty much an embodiment of the white savior. Not only, like, he is a white character who is coming back to this dimension that he's not from, has no respect for, and freeing it from itself. Quote unquote. He doesn't respect it, he doesn't understand it, he doesn't try to understand it. He goes there to take from it. And he is dragged there for no other reason than to get him out of the plot. The implications of having him go back there are very bad, and that should have had a lot more thought put into it, but it wasn't. And then we're also going to talk about the fact that all of fucking K. Kyle's appearance in Season 3 was excessive comic relief. Excessive, unnecessary, unwarranted comic relief. Rather than giving any kind of levity to any of the situations, all that Kyle does is constantly break the tension of any scene. The use of brain rot language. I'm not even gonna say those. He breaks the fourth wall constantly with references that are now quite fucking dated, such as the TikTok cape. He canonically mogs in the middle of very emotionally intense scenes, and he is actively just yapping, running his mouth about the TikTok cape in the middle of heavy active lore drops. For example, Concha's history about the gods in episode 3. And here, we have an unintended mistake. The content creator, Kyle F., he was supposed to mention Ivo at some point. However, because Kyle F. doesn't mention Ivo, it in turn makes it canon that Kyle just doesn't think about Ivo. While it was mentioned outside of story, he was supposed to bring up Ivo, this is not going to matter. Long term, this does not fucking matter, because if someone finds KSMP in a year, like people have been, they are not going to find supplementary commentary that says, yeah, oh yeah, K. Kyle did care about Ivo. They're not gonna find that. Because no one talks about it, no one brings it up. What is there in the videos is what is canon. That is the only canon material people are gonna find. By Kyle F. not mentioning at any point in lore, oh yeah, I saw, for example, I was there when Ivo did that, I wish he didn't do that, by not making any kind of mention of Ivo, it makes it very much canon. Kyle F., the character of K. Kyle, never cared about Ivo. And that's really fucked up. Like, let me remind you, Ivo sold everyone out. He sold the entire overworld out just to save Kyle, and Kyle doesn't give him a single mention. Now, I'm gonna take a quick drink before I do a quick yap about writing.
Chat, can you tell that this has been a long time coming?
Nobian, do you have anything to say before I go on my yap?
Not a lot. A lot of the things I have said in the past have already been incorporated into this. Like, I think I'm the one that originally brought up that he was supposed to talk about Ivo, just didn't.
Yep.
So, you're covering most of the points I want to make.
This is a very thorough PowerPoint. I cover everything. The hatred is strong. But so, look, I've talked about at length the problems with it, but if you wanted to do this character correctly, I have thought about, like, okay, how do you actually write a character like this? How would you actually make this, like, an interesting kind of story? Start with the fact that Kyle should have been maybe born without a faction. He could have, because that is, like, something that is kind of weird. Kyle has two colored eyes. He has a gray eye and a green eye. If you made both of those eyes gray, in that he doesn't have a faction, that could have been a really good way to start his story. Like, we see that Maddie comes out gray, emotionless. She's a blank slate of a person. So you could make K. Kyle. He could have been a factionless person, someone born without a capacity for empathy and growing up with selfish tendencies, someone who picks on Cab when she's growing up because, well, he doesn't know what else to do. It would be why he would pursue combat, excelling due to a lack of empathy, stopping him from hesitating, reading books in his free time, reading fairy tales about gods and about other worlds where people are born with different colors to their eyes. When he turns 16, leaving to seek the gods and find out just what an essence is. Through study, gaining sources of power to open the portals, traveling to the end, just directly, skip the Nether entirely. And then manipulating Ivo. Due to, like, the lack of, and the reason why the Void only affects Kyle, the lack of an essence and faction makes it easy for the Void to get into Kyle's head. And he's willing to become a vessel, because he doesn't have the emotional capacity. That would have been a really interesting way to write a character like that. He could, like, because the Void seems to have a lot of things fall into it, Kyle just takes time exploring these powers that the Void has just collected. And when Cab finally fights him, the Void is being ripped out, taking one of these essences from the Void. One of these things that fell into the Void. And instead of just, like, Kyle getting up, being fine, imagine if instead of that, Kyle woke up and for the first time in his life, this character cries. Every memory is suddenly recolored with all this emotion. Imagine if Kyle instead was a emotional fucking mess, changed by this experience, if this experience actually left an impact on him. If he actually apologized to Cab, if instead of being this emotionless, going from, like, this emotionless character into someone who's suddenly overwhelmed by all this emotion. Someone who's been racked with guilt because he's never felt something, and now he's feeling everything. Imagine how crazy that could have been as a story for the character of K. Kyle. It would have been cool if he were avoiding Cab because of guilt, because of, like, a new hatred of himself. This guilt that he sought all this power, and now he has it, and look what he did! He hurt his sister. Now he cares about his sister. Now he feels bad. Now all this memory just exists, and he doesn't know what to do with it. Would that not have been the coolest fucking thing? I understand this character better than Kyle F. I will openly and happily claim that. I know this character better than the content creator who played him. Exactly, that would have been awesome to see. That could have been really cool angst. That could have been a really cool exploration of, like, male characters being emotional. That could have been a cool exploration of, you know, men crying. That would have been really cool. That would have been awesome.
It would have been. Sadly, that's illegal.
KSMP had all these really cool concepts, but it never follows through. It never plans them out. It doesn't, like, commit fully to any one concept. A lot of story points are started but never followed through. They're not brought to a meaningful conclusion. There's a lack of themes. I love what, like, KSP did for the community, for, like, Minecraft lore, but it had so many just dropped plot points. There's all these threads that you could tug on and turn into an amazing story. But they're just not used, they're not executed. Anyway, in conclusion, fuck this white boy. Thank you for coming to my fucking TED Talk about why I hate this fucking white boy.
The character definitely had a lot of potential, and I think that's what makes it, like, the worst. That he could have been so much better. That there were a lot of really interesting things that could have been done with the character, and instead we got Skibidi.
Yep. Instead we got this character who runs around saying Skibidi, acting like this is the modern era with cell phones, when this is clearly some kind of medieval fantasy story. Or at the very least, like, pre-industrial.
I think that's also kind of why I don't mind it with when certain other characters say it as much, because the characters are otherwise, like, consistent and good, and the occasional bit of brain rot language is, like, the exception rather than the norm of their character.
Yeah. Oh, and he could have gone so many other directions that would have been interesting, but instead they went silly? Yep.
Yeah. I think it's fine to have a comic relief character. And it's fine to have a comic relief character who was once a villain, but there's an arc you kind of have to go through.
Yeah, there wasn't
to
an
get from
arc.
one point to the other.
There was no arc. There was no turnaround. Instead, it's like a completely different character.
Yeah, it just jumped. And, you know, presumably 9 months or so have passed since, like,
6
the events of
months.
Season 2. 6 months have passed between the events of Season 2 and Season 3. And there can be character development over the 6 months, but the audience doesn't get to see it.
You have to show
And it
something.
feel like a jump.
You have to show some kind of emotional development. That's a major issue that they just didn't do. Instead of, like, giving any kind of weight to the fact that Kay Kyle was canonically abusive to Cab growing up. She acts like he's just her annoying big brother.
Part of me wonders if maybe Kyle wasn't comfortable playing that mean of a character, and that they had to, like, back off the character a bit, which was an error in planning, essentially.
If that was the case, then he shouldn't have signed up to play a villain.
True.
Having a comic relief character that was a villain who never atoned or had... Yep.
Yeah.
Like, look, he signed up to be the villain. He knew this was gonna be his character going into Season 2. He knew this. Skill fucking issue. If he's got uncomfortable with it, You signed up, you committed, you have to then follow through or make a character arc. But there isn't a character arc. He just goes straight to silly white boy. But yeah, that's why I hate K. Kyle. I will gladly yap more. By all means, ask questions. Let's talk about it, chat. Let's talk about it. Because boy howdy. It's just like, what consequences does he go about facing? What actions? Like, there are no consequences to these actions. There's no weight given to the atrocities he commits across 2 dimensions.
Yeah, the worst he experiences is that he gets stabbed.
And
Which-
he recovers.
Yeah, which isn't like a major thing, essentially.
Would have loved if they made it so he learned to respect other cultures and acknowledgement of it. Yeah, that's the problem. He doesn't change. He's such a static character. And an annoying one. I know that Kyle is on, like, Outsiders or something. I don't know much about Outsiders. Like, I just know that it exists. But the fact that his character goes through no arc, he's just this static, unchanging character who's just playing up this... I don't know anything about Outsiders. And frankly, after this, all of, like, his character on KSP, I wouldn't be able to watch any of his other characters. Just because it was such, like, a souring experience to be introduced to. But yeah. Anything else you would like to say, Nubian, my friend?
I don't think I have anything more to add.
Very fair. So I think we're just gonna go on ahead and do art now, I suppose. Now we're in the chill art stream part of everything, unless people would like to say anything else, or bring up anything else. Made some jello today. I put peach tea in it, and I'm very interested to find out how it tastes. I think it'll be pretty banger. I think it'll be a banger flavor. I'm excited to find out what, if it tastes good. I think it'll taste good. How's everyone today? How is everyone today?
I'm doing alright. I'm trying to figure out how to do tricky shit on the wiki, but I think I'm about to fail.
What are you trying to do on the wiki?
Okay, you know how whenever you open a character page, there's that nice little box right at the start that tells you all this quick info about the character?
Mm-hmm.
So, one of the things we really want to do with the wiki is we want to give all the artists attribution where possible for their skins and models.
Mm-hmm.
We also want to be able to have multiple images in that info box.
Mm-hmm.
These two things are somehow mutually contradictory.
Mm.
If you try to put in multiple images, you lose the ability to caption them. And I've been trying to find a workaround for it. And I thought I had found one, and it turns out that at the last possible second, it doesn't work.
Oh no.
So I'm trying to find a new workaround.
I wish you luck.
I will figure this out.
You can do it. I believe in you. How's your mouth, Rigel? How'd the teeth stuff go? Yay, went well? Awesome. I should probably change the little PNG tuber, since we're out of crash out phase for now.
Yeah.
I made an entire separate background just for that little guy. It's quite fun. I might try to make some more little PNG guys at some point, just so it's like I've got little guy who sit for when I'm doing like the art streams, but I've only got like one default little guy, and then a bunch of the other ones are like like very specific. Like I've got two for Boktai, I've got the Crash Out, default for Minecraft. I need like a few more varieties for Minecraft. Chat, what should I consider doing art of?
Well, my go-to is always the Arcadia characters. But whatever makes you happy is probably the correct answer.
Yeah, it's like, I kind of want to do art, but I'm just like, not sure what to do. I worked a little bit on Verdantia OC a little bit. Little Jackrabbit hair character. Jackrabbits are wild. They look funky. Like their limbs are very long. Atlas OC, let's go. We need more Atlas OCs. We don't have many. Guys, it's only me right now.
Yours, you could be in Hakan. There is 0.
Well, there is, like, one Hakonian OC.
Is there? I keep forgetting. Let me look. Shit, there are 2. Never mind. Yeah, there's like 1 Atlas and 1 Verdantia.
Yeah, I'm the only Atlian. Isn't the Verdantian, the one actual Verdantian, the one actual Verdantian isn't even tagged right.
Yeah, Slew, tag your post. That way it shows up as Verdantia.
Please.
Before you ask, no, I have no idea how to tag a post. I'm not any helpful. Oh wait, never mind. I can manually edit other people's tags.
Still is interesting that Athos is Atlian. It's gonna be interesting to see how that plays out, cause Pyrites go into Verdantia. Athos is in Verdantia. These two things, this is probably gonna be where that bar scene in like the trailer is from. Like the Arcadia trailer that was posted on like Twitter.
I don't remember the bar scene. I've got to go look it up.
Yeah, there was like a sign where a scene where
You're right. I remember now.
like you haven't aged a day and you've aged like milk.
Yep.
So I'm interested to see how that's gonna play out, because if Pyrite knew Athos was alive, that's fucked up, and that's gonna be real bad, because eventually... hey guys, eventually, there's no way that Cronus doesn't find out that something was being hidden from him.
Yeah.
And if Pyrite didn't know, then clearly he has to report this back to Cronus. And that's gonna be really bad. That could really destabilize things. Like, then it becomes a manhunt. And I don't think Athos wants to be in the middle of a manhunt. Especially since he's trying to avoid the Atlians right now.
Skill issue.
Skill issue indeed. Lock in, old man. He's gotta lock the fuck in.
Okay, I think I found a workaround, but it is quite possibly the worst idea I've ever had in my life.
What's the thing?
So, instead of creating a template, which I can then use several times over to produce nice info boxes, I could hand code the info box on each page that I need it.
Krita. Hey, Krita's nice. Don't slander Krita. I won't take this slander on my stream. I'm debating if I should just let Nubian shotgun. I won't take this slander. I will not take this slander.
Nope, I think I like this person.
I will not not take the slander of the program I use on my own goddamn stream.
Are you kidding me? I slander the programs I use all the time. It's not a real program unless you're actively slandering it after using it.
But Krita's free, what?
Does it offer like a paid upgrade of some kind?
Sounds like it. Why did you get Krita on Steam? Huh.
I know that there are some games out there that are free, but that you can buy on Steam.
I wouldn't know. I don't fiddle with Steam or anything. I've got like a handful of games I play. And that's about it.
Hey, 1 minute. I'm gonna have to drop, or I'm gonna have to go mute myself for a little bit here. I will be back momentarily.
Okay, see you in a bit.
See you in a bit.
People in the chat, what should we talk about today? I'm otherwise just kind of like pretty chill art stream day, honestly. Recent Arcadia stream, so this stuff to do with Verdantian Atlas, you mean, Peshkat? Yeah. Oh boy, Midas is fucked. Hey guys, Midas is so cooked. Bro, Midas is absolutely fucked. Midas... He's not gonna make it through the winter, guys. He's definitely not. A lot of issues are now pretty much boiling over. His inability to report about a rebellion happening is going to bite him in the ass. Praying for the power— he doesn't have friends! He doesn't believe in the power of friendship! I don't think he's gonna be able to power of friendship his way out of this one, guys. It might be a bit too late. Not only has he, like, you know, fucked up his the trust that Cronus has in him, this also means that, like, in the future, Cronus is probably gonna scrutinize him a lot more. Like, any mistakes that Midas makes in the future are gonna be scrutinized. So, like, any mistake that he makes, I fear he should have, like, kept it— No, that's the problem. He wasn't talking about it early. Like, within the first month of the rebellion, Cronus should have been getting reports of a rebellion. Like, in that first month, Midas should have sent a report to Atlas, there's a rebellion going on. At least then Cronus would be aware, hey, there are some issues in Verdantia, and earlier he could have allocated resources to stomp it out sooner. But unfortunately, now it's been 8 months without Cronus ever knowing that there was a rebellion going on. And that's gonna be a problem. 'Cause now, well, what else could Midas be hiding? He was willing to hide an entire rebellion happening, damaging the resource gathering for Atlas for 8 months. So what else would Midas maybe be hiding? What else might Midas be keeping quiet about? Is he taking bribes? Is he keeping resources for himself? What else is he lying about? Because clearly, some lying is going on here. And since this is the first time that Midas has met Cronus, this is a terrible way to make a first impression on the fucking leader of your country. It is a really bad first impression. Like, if Midas was scared if Midas had been honest earlier, Cronus probably would be pretty chill about it. Cause, like, sure, Cronus is a fucking emperor of a country, of a military dictatorship, but he will listen. He is reasonable. Cronus so far can be reasoned with. Oh, and he most definitely hasn't been interviewing his guard line. They wouldn't betray him. Oh, yeah. You can't just trust guards intrinsically. Especially when they have all of the Verdantian freedoms right there. Like, look at all the freedom you can have in Verdantia. Like, any of those guards could be talking to rebels and not even know it. They could be talking about one thing or another, or Atlas's, like, guard hours. And because Midas doesn't know what his guards are doing in their off time, well, he's gonna eventually have a rude awakening when information keeps getting slipped. Because his guards are fucking blabbermouths. And he's not communicating. And he's not making them want to talk to him. All he's done is make a very, very tempting, place for people to just want to go AWOL. Like, there's a non-zero chance of those soldiers going AWOL at some point. Which would be worse. Or worse, even worser, is if they are actively aiding the rebellion, and because Midas isn't keeping track of this, and if Midas isn't also keeping track of this, guys, whoever those guards are talking to, they could be rebels. There could be members actively betraying the Atlas Empire because of money or food or anything else that might tempt a soldier. Like, we know that Atlayans, when they get the chance, do enjoy Verdantian shit. Atlas is kind of restrictive by comparison. And these soldiers just have infinite freedom. They're not being checked in on. They don't have as long as they're kind of doing their job, they're not going to be looked at. Nothing they need to worry about because they're not... Exactly. No one's checking on them. Midas isn't checking in on the progress of his soldiers. It doesn't seem like he's asking them for reports. And that's a real issue when there's a rebellion. So there's definitely gonna be some leakers in his own ranks. 'Cause he's not making them report and not making them, actively scared. He's not giving them a reason to not betray them. All he's doing is giving them reason to betray them. Like, I'm willing to bet at least one Atlian guard has a relationship with a Verdantian, and they are very likely to go AWOL because of that. Probably be in their favor to do as instead of just, yeah, for their own sake, it's better. So, unfortunately, Midas has undoubtedly screwed quite a bit up. And if Midas 1 can't get it under control, and Cronus can't get this under control, this is gonna spiral so fast. Because now, the outpost of Verdantia is under threat of crumbling. And that's really bad. Like, you can't have an occupation if you don't have people actively enforcing that occupation. Lost his report to the news reporter? Yep. I mean, Dalen isn't actively part of the rebellion, he just happens to be there. And Dalen, like, just kind of was running on by. The report was stolen by Athos. Dalen just ran distraction. The fact that the rebellion hasn't been found yet is kind of insane. Like, how have they been... Like, the only reason they've been able to do this for 8 months is kind of because Midas is incompetent. Midas is too comfortable. It seems that Midas is so comfortable in his position that this is gonna start to become an issue. Yeah, I mean, the rebellion leader has pink hair. That's pretty recognizable. They've also got an active pyromaniac running around with explosives, setting off fireworks near the rebel camp. That's pretty bad. The only reason they haven't been found is literally incompetence. I mean, add to that, also, they don't know where Katie is. That's a big issue. Katie being missing is kind of fucking important. The fact that Midas lost track of the actual heir, the proper heir to the Verdantian throne, is a major problem. 'Cause now, without her there, she could easily become a symbol for the rebellion and the Verdantian people. This is gonna get so bad so quickly. Yeah! How has the rebellion not been found yet? Like, also, if the rebellion's been such an issue for multiple months, how has, like, the rebel leader not, like, locked in and have, like, understand that she has, like, this concept down? I'm sure the leader will start to, like, lock the fuck in soon. But, like, you know, girl, it's been 8 months. Lock in. You got this. Yep. Yeah, the rebellion needs to... Oh! Looks like Noob scooted. Yeah, man. The rebel leader really needs to lock the fuck in. Like, girl, you can do this. Girl, lock in. You can do this. She can probably handle it. I mean, I hope. But at the same time, I'm wondering if it's just... Sorry. Just gonna end the rebellion if they're gonna get scattered. Midas. But the most important is that Midas needs to lock the fuck in. He needs to be getting reports from his soldiers. He needs to be social. He is so antisocial. This is going to have consequences. Like, you can't be an antisocial leader and also not have a grip on your soldiers. You have to have a grip on your soldiers if you're not going to be their friends. You can't expect loyalty just because. You have to give reason for loyalty. Like, why are they loyal? What's gonna stop them from switching sides, switching loyalty? Held in high regard by Cronus so far, and I dare say he's made... Oh yeah! Oh my god! Illid came in, and he's already made more progress. He's already got the ear of the Queen! He's already got the ear of the Queen! He barely had to prod, and he's already got the ear of the Queen! He gave therapy to Fia just the other day. All he needed was basic social skills. Yeah. All he did was some basic social skills. Bada bing, bada boom. People already like him, 'cause he listens. He's a very social Atlian. Quite the bird of a feather. yeah, he's really good at his job. And that's really bad for Verdantia. That's really bad for Verdantia, actually. I'm very interested to see how Iliad, like, continues to make an impact on stuff. Because it's real interesting. And, like, already, he is outperforming Midas by leaps and bounds. So, Midas kinda needs to watch the fuck out. Bro might be a little fucked. Might be a little cooked. Just a bit. His and Midas's dynamic, because they seem to have a completely opposite approach. Yeah, and one actually has an approach that seems to be working. Because we're already starting to see the cracks from Midas's methods. He has no life outside of his work, indeed. And that's gonna become it's gonna become an issue. Like, not having a work-life balance, eventually, that's gonna start wearing on your like, your ability to focus, and your ability to, like, do your job. Because eventually you're gonna start burning yourself out. I really hope that Midas doesn't completely screw up everything Alice has worked for. It would be understandable how that happens. It would make sense that incompetence is what ruins Atlas's control of its empire. It just would be unfortunate for Atlas. Though I think with the fact that Pyrite is going to be coming to Verdantia, is going to be very interesting. Because that's definitely, for one thing, going to make cracks appear in... Like, it's gonna reveal to Cronus just what cracks Midas has. He's already stained the reputation of Atlas in the eye of Verdantians. Yep. Midas is so unlikable to the Verdentians, he has absolutely soured some of the relationship. So Illid's gonna have to work quite hard. And that's gonna be interesting to see. I hope it's not completely unsalvageable, because I want to see just how far Atlas can go. Like, how far will Atlas be able to go? How far can they go if they do everything right? How far can they, like, push their empire before things start to crumble? Pyra has some permission to deal with it upon there being an issue, so that's just like, oh yeah, the stakes have been raised. And like, if Pirate has to deal with it per se, and Midas survives, Midas can't go back to Atlas, and he's not gonna have anything else to do. Like, then he's like, got nothing left. He has no friends in Verdantia, so there's no one who would support him. He would be a disgrace in Atlas, so he couldn't go home. So, if Midas isn't locking the fuck in, he's so fucked. Oh yeah, because of the, like, borders, he can't even leave Verdantia. Verdantia is under lockdown. Like, it's under lockdown so much that not even Athos can leave. And Athos is a patron. He's a patron of some kind of god, he has to be. Like, there's no way he isn't. This also definitely proves how important connection are, and I wonder if they'll expand on that more. They probably will. I have faith that they'll expand on this concept. I believe... I think they'll be able to do it do good with it. Sorry, I'm like a little bit distracted with some stuff real quick. I don't really have like an art thing I have like planned at the moment. I'm just kind of doing by feel a bit. Oh yeah. I have a lot of faith in, like, the writers of Arcadia. They've got a plan. They've got an idea. I believe in them. full faith. Big trust. I don't have much else I want to talk about today. I got the PowerPoint done, so PowerPoint is done. The yap has been finished. The yap has been yapped. And I don't have too much I want to, like... My throat kind of hurts a bit, admittedly. Well, Quill, you can always watch the VOD. It's been like an hour 45. I might go on ahead and, like, end stream. It may be a bit shorter, but it's fine. Not my craziest stream, and it doesn't have to be, and that's okay. I'm gonna... Yeah, because I don't have much else I want to talk about today. And my throat does kind of hurt. So, let's see. I think I'm gonna go ahead and start going ahead and end the stream for the day. Let's see. So, I'm probably gonna go ahead and raid. So, thank you everyone for coming to the stream today. I appreciate everyone who is here. Da 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 da. So, who can I go to? I'll go ahead and send you it, Concha. I try to raid more because, for one thing, people over here get more points. You get more points from it. And it's fun to raid. So, I'm probably gonna go ahead and raid, so I'll see you guys next time. I hope you all have a good day, and I'll see you guys next time I go live. So, bye.